Let's go. We back. We back. We back. I love you guys so much. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. This is the second day of posting content. So let's do it. This time we're going to be talking about the self image and how you can change it so that you can become the best version of yourself and literally live and create whatever you want. So, number one, let's start with the self image. What is the self image? The self image is very simply how you see yourself at the subconscious level, at the level that is completely unconscious to us. It starts with beliefs, it starts with emotions, and a lot of the programming that has been put and installed into our brain, like literal software, since we were born. And so, an example of this is a student who considers himself a failure, right? Because he got a bad grade in a class. Let's say he failed an exam or something like that. By failing the exam, he repeated to himself, not I failed this exam, but that I am a failure. And that is two completely different things, because I failed this exam is basically stating that I'm not a I'm not a failure, but I did fail this exam. So I must do something to do better, right? But if you tell yourself that I am a failure, then subconsciously you will find a way to fail every single time. That's what's called psycho-cybernetics. I would highly recommend reading the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It literally changed my life. And it's a super simple way of describing the actual cybernetic mechanism of our brains. What is a cybernetic mechanism? What is cybernetics? In Greek, cybernetics means steer or to steer or steersman. So it's basically talking about boats and ships. So cybernetics is the act of being able to steer a boat into a port. Psycho-cybernetics in this case is basically being able to steer your mind into the greatest port of all time, which is peace of mind, and being able to create and imagine what you see in your head and make it a reality in your physical world. Now, how can we make that happen for us? How can we use this? Well, very handy and convenient for us. Our creator, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, our creator, what created us and all of the other things that exist, designed us for success, designed us to specifically imagine and succeed exactly how we want to. It gave us, and you could even say that we give ourselves, if you want to assume that we are one with the creator and that we are responsible for the creation of ourselves and what we put out into the world. In this case, we have been gifted with consciousness and a cybernetic mechanism that allows us to create and imagine and then eventually experience our consciousness in the external world. Now, if that doesn't make any sense to you whatsoever, just visualize and think about how you are conscious using the forebrain, the prefrontal cortex. You can think, right? Like I can think and look at my computer. I can look at the camera to make sure that I'm keeping eye contact with you. I can look at the mic and look at the audio to make sure that it's working. I'm being conscious of those things. Now, I can also use my consciousness to imagine myself in a higher state. Imagine myself either winning at something, failing at something, not succeeding, completely nailing all my goals, visualizing and walking myself through mentally situations that haven't yet happened but will probably happen. And most people don't really understand, but they are literally creating the experience and will actually act as that person that they see themselves when that experience or that situation does actually end up happening in real life, if it does. This is because the self-image, how you see yourself, is the way that you will act. If you see yourself a certain way, there is absolutely no other way, no matter how much conscious effort you put in, to try and act another way. If you see yourself as a celebrity, as someone famous, as a person of a lot of influence, you will not be able to act otherwise. You will literally not be able to act as someone that doesn't have influence, that doesn't, see themselves and hold themselves at a high standard. You will not be able to see yourself or act in a way that does not correspond to your own self-image. Most people in their minds see themselves as less or inferior. And how can we change that? It's very simple. It's using your consciousness to imagine yourself in different situations than you normally do. Now, this is not something that is very easy to do right away, and that's the whole point. The whole point is to build the habit of imagination. The whole point is building the habit of being able to see yourself the way that you want to be and feeling the emotions of what that would be like to be right now, living that personality right now. Now, it might seem like some crazy leap in quantum realm. It's absolutely not. It's just simply building the habit. And you can do this 10 to 15 minutes a day, visualizing yourself, how you want to be, and looking at the things that you have coming up in your future or that you have coming up in your near future in the next few hours or even right now, and visualize mentally the way that you would like to see that unfold. Because there have literally been studies and it's been proven already that, for example, there's a story about a man who literally was able to progress and improve at throwing darts after the first time that he started throwing darts by simply imagining himself throwing darts in his own mind. He wasn't even actually throwing darts in reality. He was literally in his mind imagining himself hitting the bullseye every single time. And so then when he practiced the second time in actuality, he got better than he did when he did it the first time, which is crazy. There's so many different examples and facts that show us, and research and studies that show us that this is possible, that we can imagine ourselves, and as a result, imagine ourselves in a higher state and reach that state in this physical world. Because then again, we are designed for success. We have a cybernetic mechanism that functions based on having an end goal. So you give yourself an end goal. Let's say that your end goal, one of your end goals is to graduate college, right? If you can consciously imagine and visualize yourself graduating after your 4 years of bachelor, whatever, if you want to be a doctor, if you see yourself graduating, right, the end goal is you graduating and then becoming a doctor or going into residency, whatever it is, whatever your end goal is, that is what your cybernetic mechanism, which is an automatic success mechanism, will take you there after using your consciousness to imagine where it is you want to be. We are literally designed to succeed. So it doesn't matter what you think of or what you imagine, you will find a way to make it succeed, the mechanism within you, and create that reality. So really the whole point now that you have this information at your disposal, the best thing that you can do is start practicing the habit of imagination and visualization. Visualizing what end goal you want to see for whatever you're doing, whether you're in school, whether you started a business, whether you are planning on going to the moon. It doesn't matter what it is. What is your end goal? Focus on the end goal, get clear on what it is, imagine it very specifically in detail, just like I can imagine this entire room. If I wasn't in the room, I would know where everything is located. The same thing you have to do with your end goal, so that the clearer you are, the easier it is for your automatic success mechanism to get you there in the least amount of time possible with the least amount of resistance. Because we are already designed to succeed. So if you consciously imagine something, your subconscious mind, which is not something separate from your conscious mind, it is one mind with a consciousness and a cybernetic mechanism that is hooked into the literal mind, that when you imagine something or think of yourself, you will find a way to make that succeed in creating that reality. That is it. Like, we've literally been designed to create exactly what we see in our heads. It's our God-given right. It's our God-given right. From that, moving forward, what are some great ways to manifest or to visualize and imagine your reality? It's so simple. You can literally sit down in a chair and close your eyes for 15 minutes. Visualize yourself succeeding in whatever it is that you have to do, or even focusing on how you see yourself, because the way that you see yourself is going to dictate your actions, your emotions, and your behaviors. It's already scientifically proven and psychologically proven that you cannot act otherwise than how you see yourself. So your self-image is directly in correspondence with the actions, the emotions, and the behaviors that you align with and that you end up performing in the physical world. So if you don't see yourself the way that you would like to see yourself, that is completely your responsibility to determine what end goal you want to see and how you want to see yourself in that end goal, so that your subconscious cybernetic mechanism, which is going to steer you to that end goal, that's what it's designed for, will get you there, right? Most people think that like you have to like make so much work and do so much work and like obviously you have to do some sort of effort. You have to move your body, you have to do certain things that are required. You don't just become a millionaire just by thinking about it. I mean, you think about it, but then you also visualize and imagine exactly how you're going to get there, so that your cybernetic mechanism can successfully move you in that direction without having to do as much work as possible. Most people think that like you have to think so much and like you have to do so much work. It's It's a belief that hypnotizes you at the end of the day. It literally keeps you in a state where you have to continue working and you don't even allow your success mechanism, which is designed to help you succeed in the easiest way possible, work. So, yeah, I mean, take this with a grain of salt. Research and look into psycho-cybernetics. And if you'd like, I would highly recommend this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. It will change your life. It is literally known as the Bible of self-improvement. Read this book. It came out in like 1960s by Maxwell Maltz as the author. This book is unbelievable. Like, I finished it listening to Audible, and like I literally just started listening to it again because I literally every single time that it's like the saying, no river and no man. What's that saying? The same man will never step in the same river because he is not the same man and it is not the same river. That's the saying. It's the same thing with the book. No same man will read the same book because he is no longer the same man and that is no longer the same book. That book literally transformed the second time I started listening to it. I heard things that I didn't even know were in the book. And I was like, how did I overhear this the first time? That's the beauty of listening, repetition, and imagining. There are so many exercises and modules and things that you can apply into your life. Practice to create the reality you want to live. It's so simple and it's absolutely unbelievable how we have literally been designed. Our creator designed us to succeed. Consciously imagine something, get really clear on what the end goal is, whether it's your career, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your family, whether it's the amount of money you want to make. Get clear to the point where you can literally see it. And if it's $50,000 in cash you want to have, see it physically on your desk in your room and be able to grab it and fidget with it and pull it out of the band and be able to play with it and throw it around so that you can really get into that detail of what it actually is to have that so that your subconscious mechanism can get you there automatically. And all you have to do is feel the emotions that is associated with that right now. Continue to imagine, and your central nervous system, which is your brain, your spinal cord, and your brainstem, will naturally bring you to that, will naturally start to invigorate and experience what it is to actually have that in the physical reality. One thing I'm going to leave you with that changed my life is that your central nervous system does not know the difference between what's imagined and what's reality. So your brain literally doesn't know the difference between you imagining getting $1 million check than you actually getting the $1 million check in reality. Your brain does not know the difference. So you can literally stimulate your central nervous system to success before it even happens. That's the whole point of psycho-cybernetics. The whole point is to imagine yourself already successful, very specifically in whatever aspect of your life, and then allow that to happen. Because once you give your subconscious mind an actual end goal, it's going to do everything in its power to get you there because it is a success mechanism that is designed to get you exactly where you want to be. If you're not clear on where you want to be, you're not going to go anywhere. That's it, guys. I love you so much. Hopefully this helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll be answering them. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.